Now, we would typically use live connections when the scenario looks like this, or one or more of these conditions is true. So if your data is really big, now Tableau has some functionality for storing and analyzing data inside of Tableau, which will take very large data sets, tens of millions of rows, without any issue. However, if you have an extremely large enterprise data warehouse, and say, for example, you have tens of billions of rows stored in something like Amazon Redshift or Google BigQuery or perhaps Snowflake, then it might be better to actually use a live connection to an external data warehouse than actually bring that data into Tableau. The other use case is that you need live data. So if the data in your data warehouses can change every few minutes or perhaps even every few seconds, for example, if you work in manufacturing or perhaps a contact center environment where you need those live KPIs, then again, a live connection is quite useful. If we're not using a live connection, then we're going to be bringing data into Tableau, but that can actually increase the latency there, so we might not be working with the very most up-to-date data. The other consideration for using live connections, if you have a really fast data warehouse. So typically, if we're bringing data into Tableau and storing it, as we'll see shortly, we can actually get a bit of a speed boost over using an external database. The exception for that is if your database is already optimized for analytics and optimized for querying, in which case you can actually get similar performance with a live connection than with some of the other methodologies that we'll talk about. The other interesting use case here is if you need to use your data for other applications. So in this case, we're actually connecting Tableau to your data warehouse. But if you actually have external applications that you need to connect to your data warehouse, or perhaps you have some machine learning use cases and you want your users to be able to connect using Jupyter notebooks or R, then actually it might be useful to store that data before it enters the Tableau ecosystem so that you can actually feed the other tools from there.